Okay, call to order. Adoption of agenda, 2.1 recommendation.
That council adopt the agenda.
Can I get a seconder?
Second.
I have a correction on here on page 35. The obituaries were crossed off the other night when we had our meeting. And they're still on there, so I just want to have that as a correction.
This isn't minutes.
No, it's agenda.
Yeah, I know, but
All in favor? Adoption of minutes of 3.1 recommendation.
That council adopts the minutes from the regular council meeting held on March 16th, 2022.
Can I get a seconder?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Introducing of late items, 8.6 is travel accommodations. And budget presentation change. And that's on 8.6. Public hearing, none. Delegation, 6.1 recommendation.
That council hear the delegation from Sergeant Damon Warren.
Can I get a seconder?
Second.
All in favor? You're up. Come on, Damon.
they're fighting.
Right on. Thank you for having me. I don't know where we supposed to go. This room has changed since last time we did.
Go on that side, that way the camera will pick you up, kind of. Right around there is good.
Perfect.
Where the podium is,
Yeah, or you can move it or.
Yeah, right on. Well, I'll just say thank you for allowing us to speak with you today. So we're at the time of the year when we're looking at our policing priorities now for 2022, which prompts the reason I wanted to come talk to you today and give you some information on our crime stats over the last 3 and 5 years and kind of make a decision on where we're going with our policing priorities over the new year. So to help me with that today, or actually take the lead, is my operations NCO, Corporal Sean Peddles. He's our second in charge for the detachment. He's going to lead the way, and I'm going to be Vanna White, and we'll put it over here. So.
Thank you, Dana. Hi, so my name is Sean Peddle. Thank you guys for having us here. So, like Damon said, this time of the year we're looking at our priorities, looking forward. So to do that, we usually look back into the past to see how things are progressing. So what we've done is we looked at a 4-year period. So we're looking at from 2018 up until 2021. So we look at those stats, and you guys can tell the first graph. Sorry, we don't have it on the screen. So if you look at the first graph, you'll see the line on the bottom that indicates our rural calls for service. And then of course our city, and then the city is the green and the top one's combined. If you look at the red line, it shows a steady decline over the last 4 years. Having said that, 2020 COVID has really skewed the numbers, so this year I guess will be a bit interesting to see where all that falls. But the purpose of this is to figure out what our priorities are going to be for this year. The reason we look at a much broader picture is because we can have, for instance, a couple of years ago we did have an individual that in a span of maybe 2 months committed 57 break and enters, so that's going to really put our numbers out of proportion, right? So we try to factor in all of that stuff, and with the broader picture, obviously we get a better picture of what things really look like. If you want to turn to the second page, so we broke down five of our calls for service. So we have assaults, thefts, theft of motor vehicle, mental health act, drugs, break and enter. Most of these calls for service have been on a decline. With assault seems to be a steady increase. It's not a huge increase, but we're looking at maybe 2% a year increase, so obviously that's something that we're concerned about. We introduced a bait program back in 2018. That's made a huge difference in our theft of motor vehicles. We've seen a steady decline in that, which is good for the whole community actually. Mental health calls reached a peak in 2018 with a 200% increase. Obviously that's a concern to us and the community.
And what do we do about that?
Well, there is progress, because over the last couple of years, mental health has put a couple of programs in place, one being the ICMT team. So they're available most days. They can actually respond to a call. If, like a lot of our calls are assistance with medication. So they're able to step in and go to the residents to do the medication as opposed to us taking them to the hospital. So that's provided a decline. Again, mental health should not be a police priority.
No.
Unfortunately, it is, but it shouldn't be. And again, we have partners in the community that are really working with us. I think tomorrow we have a meeting with mental health, so we do have a partnership which seems to be working, and hopefully will continue down that road. Drugs, we did. It was a priority one year, and we've seen a spike in calls for service. The reason that spike happened is because we made it a priority. So being a priority, it got a lot of attention. If we could do that to all files or all calls for service, that would be great. But
Your assaults, now are these domestic or are they racism? Like I noticed, I've been watching the news, it's throughout the province on
Yes.
some,
So that would encompass domestic assault, stabbings, aggravated assaults, it's an umbrella for any type of assault that's covered under the criminal code.
but have you noticed anything particular in the increase or is it just a steady, the same?
I don't
No, I don't think we've noticed any particular area of assault increasing or decreasing, and assault is in the Dawson Creek area and in our detachment is in the lower calls of service. Like property crimes, drugs, mental health really does occupy our policing resources, whereas assaults, the numbers are very low. So we haven't really delved into what's causing these assaults, where is it, because it's such a low number in Dawson Creek. But the concern is that where most of our crime trends are going down, break-ins are going down, theft of vehicles going down, assaults have steadily increased every year, and that's a concern because it's not going down like everything else is. That kind of makes it stick out a little bit. So moving forward for policing priorities, we may want to do that and kind of really look into assaults to find out what is it that's increasing. Is it domestic assaults? Is it sexual assaults? Is it stranger assaults? Is it school assaults? What is driving that number up every year? Because right now I don't know. It's not something that we really focus a lot of attention on.
Okay, thank you.
Break-in and enters, they've trended down as well. Mostly we do see the odd residential break-in enter, but the trend we're seeing right now is break-in enters to the gas sites, which are isolated, hard to police. We do have partnerships with some of the security firms representing the gas companies, and we've worked with them and had some success over the last couple of months, and we're going to continue to do that. So if you want to turn to the third slide. So this is basically a breakdown of where our resources are presently being used. And as you can see, 34% of the crime in the Dawson Creek service area, police service area, is property crime. And that's something we do focus on. Again, that number's probably driven up with the gas thefts. Assaults represent 6%. Drugs represent 1% at the moment. Mental health is 8%. One of the big surprises for us this year has been traffic. We didn't really realize we were responding to 33% of the time we were responding to traffic incidents. And that encompasses impaireds, erratic drivers, prohib drivers, speeders, anything under the Motor Vehicle Act. So that's actually a pretty significant chunk of our resources right there. And again, something we're working towards fixing. And we do have BC Highway Patrol in our detachment area, so they work with us to assist with that. So.
Talking on traffic as well, I know that's a bit of an issue out here as well. We often hear residents talking about the traffic in Goose Creek, especially in front of the school on school days. A lot of the speeders tend to be those larger trucks.
Yep.
Speed through our school zone constantly. We do have Constable Goose Coopy that we put up, but yeah.
I've seen him on occasion, actually. He's a great member.
Sits there every once in a while too.
Yeah.
I just have to phone him and remind him.
Yeah, you know what, like usually morning briefings, it's always a priority for us to get to school zones. Unfortunately, sometimes that don't happen if a priority file comes in,
Yeah.
but it doesn't go unnoticed. We were aware that the school zones need to be policed. I know that traffic services came out here, I think it was last fall, and they set up and they had some really good success. So if that's something we can continue looking for, I'm sure we'll have some success.
Yeah, yeah. Anytime you can come out, I know the community always loves it whenever they kind of see you guys drive by or park there. They're always quite happy. So
We had a meeting with Rural Crime Watch last night, and we're looking at maybe starting up the Speed Watch program again. So that would be something that would be occurring in Muscogee area.
So we'll be out there with our blow dryers?
We'll have volunteers
Or you'll
out there with
actually
blow
get me
dryers.
radar.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you want to turn to the last page, I'll give you guys some examples of what our priorities have been in the past and will probably be in the future. Number one is, like we just spoke about, traffic enforcement. Substance abuse, it's always a community issue, it's always a police issue, so it's something we strive to do better with. Property crime, again, it affects everybody. It's underreported. Most people don't report it, so that skews all our numbers as well. I think especially in rural areas, people are of the opinion, well, the police can't do anything, so they don't report. It would be nice if they did, because there's still a report and that reflects other things, right? So it would be nice to see that change. And I've spoke to countless people who've told me, hey, yeah, you know what, they came on my property, they took this, I didn't bother to report it. And that
Well,
affects
also
everybody.
supposed to get more police here if people aren't reporting it, right?
Yeah, it's definitely, I think they probably agree with something.
There again, just a meeting last night
Yeah.
that was brought up by Rural Crime Watch. It was actually the Southeast Crime Prevention meeting that I attended last night. And you know, we're reporting. I can only work with facts, you know, and hard numbers, right? So we're reporting year over year that our calls for service are going down. And I also had a meeting with Dan Rose about 2 weeks ago, and he said the exact same thing as Southeast Crime Prevention told me last night, which is, well, it's just because people aren't calling it in anymore, because they're frustrated with the justice system, nothing happens anymore.
But it's not the police's fault.
You're right, but at the end of the day, it does hurt us and everybody, because if you're not calling it in anymore, I don't have those stats, and I'm reporting to the government or to my councils, crime is dropping in the area, because as far as I know, we're getting less calls for service. You know, crime, from where I'm sitting, crime is dropping. But if I'm being told now by yourselves, by Southeast Crime Prevention, and by Dan Rose, that no, it's just because they're not calling you anymore, that's an issue, and it's something that you should use your platforms probably to get out to your voters and your people in your area. That, no, keep calling. And we brought in last year online crime reporting, which I don't know if you're aware of that or not, but you can open a police file without even having to call us now, or without even having to go to the attachment. You just go on the computer and you can open your own police file. And it's not intended to generate an investigation, but it generates a stat. So at least I know about it. Because resources are tight everywhere. You know, throughout Canada, throughout North America, you know, it's all about money and resources, and they're always tight, right? So we have to use a strategic policing style, which means we allocate resources where they're needed. And so if crimes are happening in rural Goose Coopy, but they're not calling me because they don't believe in the justice system, or haven't been effective in the past, I'm not getting any kind of resource allocation in that area, because as far as I know, nothing's happening over there. Does that make sense? Or? Yeah. And you're right, it does affect policing resources as well. So.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, it's looked at if it didn't, it's not reported, it didn't happen, so,
So let's take the policeman back, right?
yeah.
Marcel.
So, well, I know we've talked in the past, and it's come up actually in a bunch of stuff with the capture program that you're exploring. So with that, how would that impact these numbers of that program actually?
So Capture, did I do a presentation on Capture?
No, you were going to after you talked to John, you were going to
Okay.
call your,
So Capture is community policing through the use of recorded evidence. It's a pilot project that was done in Red Deer, and it's kind of gone really big. Because a lot of times when I do, a few times, I've been here 4 years now, and a few times I've done kind of open town halls, and there's always a risk when you do that, right? When you give a mic to somebody random in the community, like, tell me everything that's on your mind. Take a big risk when you do that. But the feedback that you get from that is, we understand you guys are busy, we understand maybe there's not enough of you, but what can we do to help you? Like, what can I do as a volunteer to help you? And the Capture program provides an opportunity for volunteers to help, right? So, and what it is a camera registry. So the Capture program is a camera registry where people that have cameras, surveillance cameras, can register their cameras on the website, and by doing so, they're letting there to be like I have cameras. If something happens and you need my cameras, like there's my name and number. You can call me anytime. I'll give you my video.
so can I do that? Like, just,
If we can get the Capture program running here, yes, you can.
But I
You
can't
can
just-
register your own cameras on the site, and then we know when there's a crime in Goose Koopy, I can look on a map and it'll show me where all the places that cameras are that have been registered. Okay, so it kind of saves us having to go door to door. Do you have cameras? Do you see anything? Okay, next one. Do you have?
I just have to say, yes, I have cameras, or do I have to find them, model number and all that?
No, you just have to put in your address, your phone number, and yes, I have cameras and I'm willing to share them if something happens, so.
Okay.
So that's the program that we've been trying to get running for a couple of years now, and I think I'm close to the end of it, hopefully, and hopefully we'll have it running this year, so.
Oh, okay, good.
But so the program that we have running, or that we're proposing though, is a shared program between our area as well as Fort St. John. The reason that I did that is because I want to do cost sharing with Fort St. John Detachment as well as PRRD hopefully. So, and it's not a whole lot. I think it was a one-time cost of around $5,000 and then ongoing costs of around $1,200 a year. So relatively minor. But we were looking, because we have transient criminals, because we have interjurisdictional crime, we were going to link it with Fort St. John, so we have one map between here and Fort St. John, and we can see all the cameras between here and there. So.
Okay. Yeah, so just to follow up, just to finish up with our priorities over the past, property crime, persons crime, assaults, domestic violence. Community policing, of course, it's important. And I think we do really well with community policing. A lot of members are engaged in that type of policing. So we do see some success from it. And external client satisfaction with the business, interagency networking, and again, like Damien's done a great job of networking with our clients, I think. Internal employee satisfaction, so positive reinforcement, training development, and of course our indigenous communities, we want to work closely with them. That's some of the things we've done in the past and some of the things we'll do in the future, and of course we're looking to you guys for suggestions. Anything you see in your community is something you'd like to put forward. And thank you guys for your time. I appreciate
You
it.
bet.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
I'm sure I'll be calling you then.
Yep, so we'll be building our police parties now over the next 2 to 3 weeks.
Well, I have the portfolios back, so I am.
Yeah, so feel free to reach out anytime and let me know, after you digest this a little bit and discuss amongst yourself about what you think we should be focusing our resources on over the next year. I have a presentation with Dawson Creek Council. Actually, I think Sean's doing it on Monday for me. I double booked myself. I'm gone Monday, so he's going to do it for me. Thank you. So after the presentation next week, then I think all of our stakeholder engagement is done and we'll start building the priorities. So, let me know what you think or if anything comes up and where you think you want us to focus on this year. So, Goose Koopy, like I said, Goose Koopy traffic might be important to Goose Koopy. So,
Well, that's one thing, and there's another thing, but we can't talk on camera about it.
yep.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Have a good evening.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Drive safe.
Thank you.
Unfinished business arising from the minutes. New business, 8.1 recommendation.
That council choose 1 or 2 media releases regarding vandalism around the village.
Can I get a seconder?
Second.
Discussion?
that you'd shared more pictures about tagging in the, was that new or was that part of?
No, that was me.
Okay. I keep hoping that they're gonna run out of spray paint in their red can.
Well, I kind of just wonder what the parents don't really check their kids' signs, if this is going on.
Yeah. So I keep hoping it's just one can and they're gonna eventually
Run out.
run out, you know? I'm very hopeful, Sandy.
Okay, 6 and 3. Page 27. It
Huh?
starts, 27 it starts at.
I'm trying to get my hands to work. Go ahead, Maureen.
So if I had to choose, like one just seems like an awful lot to read through for, especially if you're trying to influence whoever is doing these things. Yeah. And number two, it seems simple and to the point to me.
Yeah, number 2.
And number 4, I quite like that one too. So if I had to choose 2, it would be number 2, number 4.
How about number 2?
So my first question would be, how many does council want to put out there? Do you want to put 1 or 2?
Oh.
And if you do,
I
then
like
pick one.
parents pay for these things with their tax dollars. Please stop ruining them.
So this was on the advice of Staff Sergeant Warrow,
Yeah.
after talking to him, because he said there is not much they can do about it unless they actually catch them in the act.
Yeah.
So we've got pictures of everything, we've opened a file. He said unless we get them on camera or, you know, the stuff that happened at the skate park, there was a little bit of evidence left around, so they gathered that, and we've cleaned most of it up, but we have a lot of signs to replace. We have garbage cans to repaint. There's the church over there, and Public Works has assured me that they're working with them. That's who's working with them. Okay.
And then the Hard Hotel got tagged.
The Hard Hotel was actually the very first one that got tagged, and that got tagged over 3 weeks ago. And then Legion also got done. But as I said, Staff Sergeant Warrow suggested was just get something out there as soon as possible to say, stop, you know, this is what it's doing. I had admin kind of come up with some different ideas of how we could post it, how we would put it out there. And then,
Can we have a board put up so that they can spray it, or if they feel like tagging something?
well, our lovely CFO said that we should put out a notice to them that it should only be artistic tagging that's done. If you're gonna do it, at least be artistic about it.
Exactly.
But,
Artists.
Staff Sergeant Warrow said, don't encourage it. He said, cover it up, don't encourage it. The sooner you shut it down, the sooner it will stop. He said, don't try and encourage it, like don't put something up that says, hey, paint this. Or he said, just try and stop it.
So does the money come out of our beautification for these signs?
More than likely, yeah.
I think number 2.
Barb has a question.
Now, when you do these, are you just gonna put them randomly out in the
We're
community?
gonna put them up on our Facebook page, we'll put it out on our Facebook page, we'll put it on our website.
I'm just curious.
If we wanna make signs like this and post them around, it's gonna cost money. Unless you just want us to make some and laminate them and kind of post them there temporarily. But, I mean, they're gonna rip them down, they're
Yeah,
gonna,
they're just gonna write it
right?
down, right?
So it's basically get it out to the community, that,
Okay.
hey, we've seen it, this is what we're doing, please, you know, stop. Yes?
Then,
I like number 2 for the online bit and maybe like throwing that into the Village Voice or something.
Yeah.
I really like this one though too, it's quite eye-catching. So I was wondering if maybe we could print a couple of these in color and put one up like at the library and outside the
bulletin
post
board.
office, yeah.
Sorry, yours aren't in color, so this is what it looks like.
Yeah, so it's really quite eye-catching.
that is more eye-catching, please.
So I was wondering if maybe we could do one of the general I think of this as like the adult version and
Yeah.
the children version.
So Sandy, we could put one of them up on the bulletin board, one up at the post office.
You're talking about this
The
one?
number
Yeah.
4 one, yeah. Just sort of like, you know, I'm pretty sure the school would probably put one up, right? Just something that's kind of eye-catching to the kids, and then maybe put this May notice out, yeah, in like the Village Voice and on our Facebook page and our village page and.
Okay, can I have a motion for that, please?
I'll second.
All in favor?
You betcha.
Okay, sorry, I just did your job.
I know you did.
You
Thank
seem to be
very much.
sharing it today, so
Yeah.
we'll just all do it.
Okay, 8.2 recommendation.
That council rename the alley between 50th Street, Highway 2, and alley Secret Lane or something similar.
Second.
Discussion. Have you reached out to Vinnie and talked to him
No,
about
not
it?
yet, not till we decide if you want to do this.
Well, I want to do it. Everybody, I think, is in agreement that we want to do it. But does he want to do it, right?
And we can reach out to him.
Yeah.
If council is in favor, you have to do your motion, and then I will
I'll
reach
make a
out to him.
motion that council rename the alley between 50th Street, Highway 2, and the alley Sucred's Lane or something similar. Can I get a seconder? All in favor?
My question is, does anybody have a different name they would like? The only two I came up
Well,
with were
Secret Palmer.
Secret Lane or Palmer
It's
Alley.
Secret Palmer. Right?
Yeah, but you don't want to put their whole name on there.
Well, I don't know, that's what I'm saying, we should talk to Vinnie.
I like it secret, it's more intimate. Because we all spoke.
Mhm.
But I would talk to Vinnie first before.
Okay. I will make a note to speak to the family.
Maybe find out what they.
Vinnie's only in here right now. Amin is in, or Mandeep is in Africa right now. Or-
Okay, I'll make a note.
Maybe just find out what they think she would prefer.
Thank you. Dear friend of mine. 8.3 recommendation.
Council look to reschedule the May 4th, 2022 council meeting to May 2nd or May 9th, 2023.
And the seconder? Second. I would say May 9th. Discussion, May 9th. Good.
I was thinking the May 2nd because I know it is that time where we're sort of doing those budget meetings and they can have.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was thinking at least if we get it done,
That's before the NCLGA, isn't it?
yes, that's the Monday
Yeah, so
before.
the second's good. Barb?
If we did it on the 9th, then we have another council meeting on the 18th that's kind of close together where we had it on the 2nd.
Second, yeah.
It's more than likely that we will be having another council meeting somewhere between the 9th and the 13th. I'm just going to give you a heads up because it is budget season and we have to get the budget bylaws done. So usually we have the 4th and adopt somewhere in that week. So just so you know, it's usually just a 5-minute meeting, but. Okay, so everybody's in favor of May 2nd?
All in favor? Okay. 8.4 recommendation, the council decide on the budget for Canada Day.
This is kind of,
Anybody want to read the rest?
And that council decides what kind of Canada Day celebration will take place, parade and party and location. And that if council wishes to proceed with the party, that they discuss the attached tentative itinerary that has been put forward. And that council discusses the Eagle Vision video quote that is provided and decides if they would like to proceed with this. And that council discusses the live entertainment lineup that is being put forward and decides if they would like to proceed with it.
Barb?
Do we know what, on your proposal, how much that will cost?
Rough, yeah, I have it rough. Roughed it out. you got the itinerary. We've got some donations coming in. We have free, what was it, generators, light towers, garbage cans, and toilets donated. What else? The only thing that we would be paying for would be the Eagle Vision production and bands. Everything else is donated.
There's also the cost of the fireworks and the float. I've quoted the float out at approximately 2,000.
Barb?
The cleanup afterwards, do we have someone that's gonna do that, or does that fall back to
The
public?
volunteers, we have volunteers that will be helping us clean up.
And what about approaching the highway, the Ministry of Highways for a left-hand turn?
They'll be being picked up over there by Diversified,
People are still gonna drive.
and no vehicles are going to be allowed down in the park.
I think there might be a problem there, because people aren't gonna know that. They think it's.
It'll be well advertised.
How many nonprofit groups or organizations is going to be down there?
DC Charities, they have a whole bunch of people, Edma's Show and Shine, Search and Rescue,
The library, the
the
fire
library,
hall,
the
museum.
fire hall, the museum.
So we don't have any businesses from the village partaking.
Well, we never went around yet. This is just tentatively. So if Don wants to come down there, he's welcome to come down there. Michelle and them are welcome to come down, and they know that. Ryan,
I know you know what what I'm going to say. As a council in the village of Pouce Coupe, and knowing that this has been a situation since 2016, I think that it's calling to order that the community should be coming together to try and gather up some way of putting on this regional, we can't call it a barbecue anymore because that isn't what it is. It's something else. July 1st celebration or whatever.
that's what we've been calling it.
Because I really don't feel that it's fair to the community taxpayers to put on a regional party. It should be a group, a society, whatever, that does this. And I do like it. I like the idea, but I've always loved July 1st in Pouce Coupe. It's just the financial burden should be with a group of people who are committed to this. And 2016, it's been a long time since the foundation hasn't been doing this, and I think it's time for people to step up.
Marcel?
So I'm just thinking out loud here, but would it be something if we decide to go ahead with the Canada Day celebration to put it out to the community and say, hey, going forward next year, we'd like to get a committee together for planning this going forward, and look at working with a nonprofit group or looking at working with a committee that could take on the planning of it, and then us as a village, we look at supporting it, and then it allows them to go, regional go to other communities, but, which it's short notice this year, we're not gonna get a committee put together this year, but it would be something I think if we look at supporting, going forward with this and put it out to the community at Canada Day saying, hey, going forward, we'd like to get a committee together to run this and make this a continuous event for the Peace Country and put it out there and see what we get.
Yeah, we can do that.
Yes, there should
And then
be.
we can donate towards it as, we would one other organization, group kind of thing. and look at working something out, but the first step would be getting the word out to the community that, hey, we want to put a committee together for this and seeing what kind of interest we get. And, that puts it a year out, so it gives them some time to,
Will that be under the village, the committee?
I don't know if it can be, or that would be a staff question.
You have to look into that.
Ben?
I know I was also looking into the committee thing as well, and I spoke to my Aunt Judy about, she's organized different powwows outside of the province and stuff. And they normally charge the food trucks a fee for sitting down there all day, and then, so they're able to make money back so that they can do those powwows every year kind of a deal. So that is something where the village can't do that, but if we had a committee, they could. So I definitely think it would be in our best interest to put something out in the village, looking to form a committee, and then we as council can support them, just as much like what Councillor Smith had said about us supporting the museum and the library. It would be kind of the same idea. Barb has a question.
Barb?
I can't see spending taxpayers' money to put on this party where all the food vendors are not local. They're gonna be making money for down there, and which they should, that's their business. But
Those are the
village
only
tax-
food vendors that are around, Barb.
what I'm saying is, so we use taxpayers' money so that people can party, and yes, I think July 1st is an awesome event. I've worked many years with July 1st, but I don't think the tax dollars should be spent on it.
Ben?
I think, bringing up the point that we had talked about last time, Canada Day wasn't an issue in 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019. It wasn't a big issue then. And, the taxpayers seem to want it. It's very supported within our community. I know that Mayor McKenney did put something out on our Who's Coopy page, and there was a lot of response on it. And I've spoken to people. I haven't gone door to door, but the majority of people I've spoken to, it's a very supported event. And I think with COVID and everything else, the mental health aspect of it also needs to be looked at. And I think a lot of people are so supportive of it because we've been stuck in our homes for 2.5 years, because we don't have that feeling of community anymore. And so, I think going forward, biting the bullet this year, like we have from 2016, 17, 18, 19, and then looking at forming a community, committee for future years. At least we're moving in an onward projection where we're not saying, okay, every year we're gonna submit this amount of money for it. We're also looking at outside things as well, forming a committee, talking to the local community, that kind of thing.
Do you want to put that in a motion?
Motion for the committee thing? Yeah, I make a motion that we maybe have office staff look into forming a committee, either through staff or through the local community.
Can we just put it in the newspaper?
Like the Village Voice or something? Yes.
Well, we had that letter. Remember a few years ago, we had that letter that we put in people's mailboxes. Did any of those come back, Sandy?
Okay, that was pre-COVID.
That was pre-COVID.
I would need to look into that. I know we did a survey, I just can't remember what the survey was about right
It
off
was,
the top of my head.
for our fun things, like July 1st, our truck rally.
Okay, can I bring that back next?
Please do. Marcel?
So the other thing with that committee is that committee won't be restricted to just Goose Coopy people, right? That's anybody within
It'll be
the area can
anybody.
be part of that committee, like when there's no
Don't know.
legal issues with that, or
We need to look into it.
It would have to be a nonprofit organization, have board members.
You're gonna need people to step up to do this,
Yes.
and
Or the other
we
thing
have
is,
trouble getting people
there might
to
already be a
step up doing
nonprofit
things.
organization within the Peace Country that might be interested in taking it on as well, right? So,
But you want it to be local to Poos, do you not?
no, I think Canada Day benefits, it's more of a regional thing, it benefits everyone in the region, everybody enjoys it. We get a lot of people from Dawson Creek, because they can guarantee that not everybody is sent on the streets just from Poos. So it'd be one of those things to get more buy-in and stuff would be to open it up a committee that if people want to be on it, they don't necessarily have to be from Poos Koopy, they can live, in Dawson Creek, Poos Koopy, or, the immediate surrounding area to be on it, because that's,
Okay, leave it with us.
Speaking on that, it would be nice to get some support from Dawson Creek, the Peace River Regional District.
I'm working on it.
Yeah, some of those, because there are people who come like all the way from Chetwynd, Fort St. John,
Well,
Cumberland Ridge.
there's actual people staying in Mandeep's hotel. I texted her the other night to see if that actually, do people stay in your hotel when July first is happening, and she said yes.
Oh, good,
So,
good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
first of all, I have a motion on the floor, I need a seconder.
second. Do you want to read the motion, please?
In short format, have office staff look into forming a committee for Canada Day.
All in favor? So back to where we were.
Okay, so that doesn't help,
It's
whether or not you're
still-
continuing with this one.
based off the numbers that we've heard from, meetings we've had and stuff, and then looking at these other ones, I would make a motion that we set a budget of $30,000.
How much?
30,000
30?
for Canada Day celebrations, that covers the whole shebang.
I
Is
would say
anyone
the
going to
40.
second that?
I would say the 40.
Okay. You just made a motion for 30, I need a seconder, or not.
Jumping the gun over there, Councilwoman.
Well, you have to do a first and second, and then
And then it goes for
discussion.
discussion.
Doesn't mean it's gonna happen.
Fine, I second.
Now we can discuss.
Now discussion. Sorry, Mayor McKenny.
Danielle?
If we were to keep it at the 45, but we don't spend the whole thing, can we roll, no, I'm already getting the no, okay.
It's 40.
She's like, mm-mm, once it's in there, that's it, okay. So it's not like we could take that and be like, oh, we have an extra,
You could make a motion, yes, that if it was moved to, because it goes to surplus afterwards, you would have to make a council motion to have it removed from surplus next year.
Simon?
Now I notice that Mayor McKenny's looking ahead to the budget, and we put a guess in the budget for Canada Day because that part of the budget was coming up and we needed a number there for you guys to. That doesn't mean that's what the number has to be.
No.
We just looked at everything, and between the two of us, we decided 40 was about a good number. But that doesn't mean it's gonna be. So right now we have a motion for 30,000 and we're discussing.
I would just hate for us to motion for 30 and then
Have to come back.
have to come back, yes, right?
Yeah.
Because it looks like here, that seems to be what happens. Now, I know
Oh, we didn't come back, it just ended up.
Yeah, I know Mayor McKinney has been working at trying to get lots of like nonprofit and lots of donations and those things tentatively, but,
Mark?
I cannot vote for spending $30,000 or $40,000 for the July 1st. That is not financially responsible. We've had unforeseen expenses this last year.
What are the unforeseen? The lagoon, which is 75% of a grant.
We don't have a grant yet.
Not yet, but.
We don't know if we're gonna get it.
I think if we didn't do it, it'd be a disappointment to the community.
I do too.
These people have been disappointed enough.
And at this point, I'd say after being on Facebook and well advertisement, that I could see your positions.
We just asked, I just put it out there, does anybody want candidate?
Yeah, I know.
Is that how we reach out to our residents now, just on social media? There's lots of people that don't have internet or are not on social media.
That's where that social media issue comes up, right? But it is out there, the community is talking about it, and I feel at this point in time, if we were to vote against it, it would be a massive disappointment. And really, I think it would be a disappointment overall to the community. And really, I think that they've been disappointed enough.
Needs to bring the community together.
So, I motion that we budget $40,000 for Candidate Day.
You have a motion of 30,000 right now. You're
Can I amend my motion?
Uh-huh.
My motion?
What if I say no?
Well, then I'll withdraw my motion and make a new one.
These are entertaining, aren't they? Yeah.
And, okay, you're amending the motion
Yeah, to
to,
increase the budget to 40,000.
I second that.
okay,
All in favor?
Opposed, and I would like it noted, please.
Opposed?
Councillor Hebert, would you like it noted as well?
Yes.
Okay, and then the next one is, and the kind of Candidate Day celebration do you want to take place? Parade, paradise party, and location. Well, we want to have it down at the park. We're having a parade.
So basically that was, do you want parade only or parade and party?
Parade and party.
Motion?
Motion, no, parade and party.
I'll second that.
Because I think if we just have a parade, people will go home. If we have a party, then they'll be chilled down at the grounds and visiting with everybody and.
So do you understand why I put all of this in here? Because I'm trying to make sure that we cover everything. It wasn't to make sure everyone knew how to read and that we had to. I just
Sure.
wanted to make sure that we were covering everything.
It's my understanding too that by the sounds of things, it is gonna be another full day thing like it used to be. If I heard correctly, I think the Legion was already planning on doing the regular pancake breakfast before the parade starts. And then the parade starts and then it kicks into the celebration down at the park. So, you know, the nice thing with that is if, yeah, we can get the parking organized at the school, we may even be able to utilize that for the parade. Because I can tell you, people,
Park everywhere and their cars.
they park everywhere, and I live across the street from the field, and they drive into the field, or they park on my ditch, and I have to shoo them off my lawn, or they park in my driveway because they think it's a parking lot.
Start
So-
charging $50 for parking.
You know, I've had people mention that to me. I make a killing. Anyway, so yes, that might be something else that we could look into for the
Okay,
parade.
so we have one motion on the floor, please. You have to vote on it. You get enough
I
time
have
right
a
now.
question.
Of course,
The parade, when you say utilize by the school for the parade, we can't have any parade going across the highway. The parade all has to stay on this side of the highway.
No, I meant the parking, so people could park and then walk to where the parade would take place. Because currently, people kind of park everywhere and then they stand and then the parade happens. But if we're already going to be parking up by the school for Canada Day, then maybe they could park there for the day kind of a deal and then walk to the Legion, do the pancake breakfast, walk to where they want to be for the parade, have the parade run like normal, and then get bused down to the celebration. It would stop some of that crazy madness that I often see in the morning with people driving everywhere looking for a
a
parade
good spot.
Yeah.
Right?
Have you put any thought into special needs at all? Like
For
wheelchair,
buses.
people with wheelchairs?
Mhm.
They would park at the school and wheel themselves here.
Well, I'm not saying we would make them, I'm just saying that could be another option.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Who's gonna monitor that?
One of the volunteers.
Okay, just asking.
Anyway, all in favor of parade and party?
Yeah, all in favor for parade party? Okay.
Opposed and for parade, but not party.
Right now, it's parade and party. so-
Okay, I'm opposed, and it noted, please.
Opposed. And that council discussed the EcoVision video quotes that is provided and decided if that would like to proceed with this. Can I get a seconder?
Second.
Discussion.
Okay, you skipped one.
What?
Yes, you did. And that if council wishes to proceed with a party, that they discuss the attached tentative itinerary that has been attached. But I guess you could kind of have, but, I think that said, if council works within the budget, then that's, right? So, okay, never mind, don't need to do that one. Go on to the next one, sorry. Sorry.
Okay,
Who
and-
seconded that?
I did.
Okay.
Discussion? Go ahead.
So, okay, so this gives us a trailer that has a screen on it, or a truck,
Fire truck.
a fire truck.
If you went to the music festival in
Okay,
July,
yes,
that truck.
In Kin Park, yeah.
That truck.
So, what's running across this $14,000 screen?
The band and pictures of different councils that I'm trying to find. Like 90 years of council.
I get what you're going for, but I don't know if it's the best utilization of this funds. That's the only thing. I totally,
And we wanted Rob's film down there. And they're gonna film the whole video, like whole day.
oh good, can we take that off our capital projects list to watch the film? No, I'm not going to.
What?
It's not on our capital, it's on our action item.
That's on our action items for us to watch.
Well, you
I'm
don't
giving
wanna see it
Marlene
twice.
the giggles to watch the film, but if they're gonna premiere it down there,
There.
right? But, so is it only Eagle Visions that can premiere the film down
Well,
there?
he's got the screen, right, for the darkness, or for the light?
What if we only paid him from that aspect? Would it still be 14 grand? Would it still be 14 grand?
The truck is 600, and then you've got the screen on top of that, right?
The screen is 2,400.
Yeah, but the fire truck that it comes on is 676.
That's for
And then you've
two,
got the screen.
that's for two fire trucks.
No, just one fire truck.
It's two fire
He
trucks.
says 2 units, 2.
Oh, 2 units, yeah,
So why do they need two?
because they have to have one manning it, and one's out filming.
A fire truck?
Yeah. They,
Were they doing dual screens maybe?
huh?
Did they look into doing dual screens on either side of the bandstand or something?
Or are they filming, or like, are they in the parade and they're gonna film that?
That too, the whole, all day festivities is what they're gonna do.
Yeah, I just don't know if it's the best utilization of the money.
What's this 14,000 for this, for Eagle Vision, that was included in that 40,000 you requested for the budget for Canada, is it not?
Pardon?
This is included in that 40,000 for Canada.
Yeah.
That we just approved.
Yes, no, I know, but at the same time.
And this
And,
was also
and the
great.
tents are in here too, 40 by 35 tents. There's 4 of them. Because we don't have any more, right, Sandy?
No.
And they'll set them up and take them down.
What now as we voted, what if I phoned the car dealerships and got us different tents?
Well, yeah.
Like, it almost would be cheaper for us to rebuy our own tents. No offense to this dude.
But they have to set it up, and
Yeah.
these guys set it up. Right.
When I originally spoke about having things filmed or whatever so that we could send them out to people who couldn't be here and would love to be here.
And that's what he's doing.
That's what this is, and he'll be having it on DVDs
Well,
or whatever.
we can have them put them on DVDs. because it's just gonna be him doing everything with his drone, right? And
Oh,
then,
the drone.
yeah, he did all the drones and that for the freedom fighting, when they were going down the highways and stuff. That was him,
Oh.
so.
Your hand was up, I'm dying to know what you wanted to say.
What do you want to say, Sandra?
We were just discussing the tents. We were just discussing the tents. So when we did this back in well, the last time we had tents and
2019.
bandstands, no, yeah, 2019, 2018. That bandstand and the 4 or 5 tents that we got cost us $5,000.
And we
Okay.
got 4 tents here that are $5,000.
Yeah, but we had the bandstand and everything as well. And that came from a company here in Fort St. John as well.
But we have a bandstand.
Yeah, so she's saying it was like cheaper,
But whether or not we could get them is,
another.
see, these tents are far bigger, that's what I was gonna say.
They're
These tents are
45
far bigger than anything you're gonna get from a car dealership. The car dealership ones are gonna be about 12 feet by 12 feet max.
And
Okay.
They're like pop-up shelters.
Yeah.
They are not, like, these ones are cover a
Massive.
quarter of the property type thing.
And it isn't working, we are supposed to be getting a heat wave from people in here from garden, by the way.
Just from a safety
And what?
perspective.
What did you say?
We're getting a heat wave.
Pardon?
Did you say
From a
something?
safety perspective, we need to shade it for people who go to the
Yeah.
What? We're not having a break.
Anyway, okay. And this, like, he would take down all those tents, I guess, and stuff,
That's all
right?
his stuff.
Okay, yeah, all right. I do like the idea of the 2-minute promotional video thing. I like that with the drone, and that looks so cool.
Wouldn't it?
I know.
Yeah.
Well, your long-winded spiel won me over, Lorraine, on this.
It's called vote.
I would just like it to be very special for the 90th.
Yeah.
And that's what I told him on the phone, Marlon. All in favor?
Eagle Vision.
Eagle Vision. You can Google them online and see all the videos.
I thought it was part of this 40,000.
It is.
It is.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Opposed?
Marlene, are you opposed?
You're in favor of this one?
I want it to be special, yeah. I'll be okay with that.
Okay,
And Barb's opposed.
call opposed, please. Just say call opposed, or
All
call opposed.
opposed?
Thank you.
Okay.
And then, there's one more, entertainment.
Oh, and that council discussed the live entertainment lineup that is being put forward and decided it would be like to proceed with it.
Second.
Can you get a second?
Did you get a list of band, were you supplied a list of bands that are?
It just says band 1. So just gonna be Marty going, I'm band 1, Marty, I'm
No,
band
he's
2.
got several and,
I think Dory Braun and Dirty Little Kitchen were one.
yeah,
Marigold
two bands I got to call him are, he used to own the jewelry store.
Treatment.
Treble.
We getting the Raspy Devils by chance? Oh.
Yeah. Okay. So, all in favor? Right? You're not gonna partake in the music? Oh, that's a surprise. No Led Zeppelin.
Opposed.
My name is on Led Zeppelin.
Rob Zombie.
Well, one of those guys probably could.
Alrighty.
Okay, 8.5, recommendation?
That council received the budget proposal for public works, environmental health, public health, and social welfare and recreation for discussion.
Second,
That's like,
thank you. So please refer to this for the budget, please. Because numbers changed since they went into the agenda. And if you have any questions, you can direct them at the interim CFO.
That's the equivalent of 123 audit.
Hey, this is the only good part of this part.
Say that new truck we bought out, right? We didn't lease it or anything, right?
That's right.
I
Running?
I wanted to ask about on page 2, the public works and down the descriptions,
Yes?
the benefits, and there's a substantial increase.
Actually, this came about today. Public Works is actually misrepresented by one person. There's one extra person on there. It shouldn't be when
Can you wink, wink,
I
nudge,
talked to him
nudge?
today. Yeah, no.
So is this the right number though?
No, it's
It's
not.
less?
I just realized
Is it
it.
less?
It should be less.
Figured so.
Much less?
Yeah, how much less we talking?
Should it be more around the 34,000 mark?
Oh, not the benefits, no.
Oh.
That's,
Oh,
but
we're talking about benefits right now. They want to know why it went from 34,850 to
I believe because
68.
there's an extra person on there.
Doubled?
No,
For one person?
no, it was misrepresented to begin with.
I'm confused.
So this is going to come back again next meeting.
What is
Just be,
actual
just,
Public
you're
Works?
not voting on this today. This is just a discussion.
Oh, okay.
Okay? We, just like every other year, we bring you one set, you look at it, and then for adoption, the next. So these numbers will either, does we have it?
There's an extra person in there, to the tune of about $50,000 on the Public Works, and the benefits would be, it's a percent, the benefits are a percentage based on the wage allocation.
What's the percentage? And there's one extra person on the wage, did you say too?
Yeah,
So take off 50,000 off the public.
approximate, well, it's probably closer to 60,000.
So is that what you're taking off the wages?
Off the
60?
wages, yes, and then, the 34,000 was inaccurate last year.
Okay.
So this whole line needs to be
So
updated.
mine is 60? Did you say?
Yes,
Only from the wages.
just
though,
from the
not-
wages, and then the benefits will go down proportionally, but
Yeah.
So 149. Does that sound right?
yeah, I
149?
believe so. I'm gonna have to get back on,
Because
I'm
mine's
sorry.
187.
Yeah, I completely blanked on this today, that part.
Barb?
What is minor capital public works?
That's like,
Because
small
capital,
tools,
pardon me?
small tools, or equipment.
Car washer?
Drill, no car washes, no.
No, the
No, it'd
capital.
be more small equipment.
Like
So,
post pounders?
drills.
hammers,
Yeah, other
drills.
hand tools.
Yeah.
Yeah,
tools.
yeah, that kind of stuff.
You probably spend a lot on survey stakes. Danielle?
I have a quick question about this street light. Is this,
That's non-negotiable. Unless you want to turn some off.
never dramatic. Excuse me, I can't.
So you missed it last year, and then every other year that Chris ever said, there's some things that are fixed, and there are some that can be changed. That happens to be one that you cannot touch.
Okay.
Unless you want to go talk to BC Hydro
Yes,
yourself.
that is a fixed rate.
Right.
Streets and lanes, what all does that entail?
Pretty much anything you can think of for streets and lanes. Basically sanding, sweeping.
Back alleys,
What else
grading
goes in
back
there?
alleys.
Loader rental goes in
Oh yeah, the loader rental was in there.
Oh, okay.
So that makes a
So
big
any,
portion of it.
any
Mm.
maintenance or anything new for streets and lanes?
We talked about that motor rental, remember, in November.
That's one of our first couple of meetings.
Yeah.
Everybody see anything? Next. Environmental health, garbage contract. Ooh, that went up.
Why is that, Sandy? Was it cheaper for him to just do it monthly?
Excuse me? Financial questions must be directed to the interim CFO.
I believe that was an estimated amount last year because we came in mid-year, or into that contract, and it's not contracted. I do have
It's a
notes on
monthly
it.
cost. isn't
It's
it?
it's a challenge. Okay, so we've got, it's a challenge to budget. We're paying for it month to month. Last year's was an estimated amount, the budgeted amount. The 98,000 is based on what we actually spent.
For 2021.
Yes.
Holy moly. Wow. Myself.
Is the garbage collection, is that out for?
Not yet.
We're going
That's
to,
still-
but it's
well,
on
and
the-
that's, yeah, whether or not you want to go out for a second.
Well, they said yes.
Okay.
We did that in Kathleen's special budget. To put the RFP out.
Right, yeah,
Right.
right,
And Doug has agreed to help us with the RFP.
yeah.
Because he's done several, so.
Okay, Bart.
Garbage wages, don't we have a contractor that picks up our garbage?
That wage is still for things that our public works department has to do, such as a missed garbage or the bins getting broken or taking new bins or picking up bins or, there's still minor work that has to be done for
Okay.
it.
Marcel?
Is Public Works still really pretending they're raccoons and checking, or really check the recycling?
We usually only do that in the summertime.
Did you say something about raccoons?
Raccoons.
They're pretending to be raccoons and check the recycling.
And maybe
When we
should
have
put-
summer students, that's when we
Yeah.
usually do it. When it's
Can I-
nicer and they walk.
Can we, put a thing in the paper, or that, be mindful of their recyclable bins?
It goes out every, on
I
every
think
village
we,
voice.
yeah, it was kind of a regular thing.
Okay.
I don't believe we've gotten any feedback that there's anything wrong with our, is there?
We haven't started checking yet.
No, but we
we're not
haven't had
getting
any
any
from the-
feedback from the.
Oh,
the
no,
depot
nothing.
that
I haven't heard
is-
anything
yeah,
yet. Nope.
So I would
Nope,
assume
so
we're doing
far
well.
Good. Danny?
Two things. One, it's almost looking to the point where it may be more feasible to look into getting our own truck.
We are going to.
No?
We have a truck.
Well, we had a truck that lit on fire halfway down here.
No,
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 no.
that was a replacement.
That-
The one that burnt stayed down there.
Yeah.
Okay, and then my second thing was the bins. It's gone from 500 to 1,500. Are the bins getting fancier? At the bottom?
buying more?
Are we buying more? Oh, what's happening? Oh, that's, I'm not talking to you.
I don't know where that's at.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll check into
I
that.
think we want more of them.
We don't buy it anymore.
No.
I don't think we need more bins.
Sandy, is,
That again is just, working on the bins. We still have replacement part, bins get damaged.
Mm-hmm. Did we spend 1,500 in this year, like in 2021?
I think it's just a natural.
2021.
I'll double check on that one.
Yeah, it just jumped suddenly, so I just, frankly, I'm just trying to save money where we can.
hey Sandy, on the Village Voice, can we praise people for keeping up a good job in the recycling?
Yes, if they have.
Yeah, sure. I think that would be a.
I expect my letter in the mail.
You expect your letter.
Well, I'm sorry that you're gonna be waiting a very long time.
And you want that letter signed out there personally? In gold.
Hey, public health and
social welfare? That's a terrible color.
Well, we don't know why it's that color, but.
Or
I have a question. How many permits for chickens have we issued in the last year?
How many chickens permits?
One.
Kenny?
Is it you?
No, it was not me. So, you might want to have the bylaw officer double check, because when I was doing the chicken petition, there were like 7 people who already had chickens, just so y'all know.
Well, unless we have an address that you give us, there's
I
not
didn't
much.
memorize them.
Well, we can't have our bylaw officer just
Go
going
on
up and down the
people's
street.
Knocking on the door, do you got chicken?
Yeah.
I was saying, like, keep an eyeball out, but yeah, there were like,
We have had people call into the office. We've had one call regarding a place, and we had him go check, but it turned out that person was well within their right, and they didn't actually need a permit because they are in the egg area, so it's all good. All right. There we go.
So just looking at this, building inspections,
Mhm.
that $8,000, is that being augmented over to the fire department to cover wages for doing building inspections, or is that an
This is-
outside contractor?
This is for our contractor from the regional district for building inspections.
No. Oh, so that's not building fire inspections, that's just the building permit inspections and buildings, okay.
Building up, when they're building houses and stuff.
Yep.
And then I got one more while I'm at it.
Yep.
The municipal emergency program, the $1,500, what's that for? Just, I'm just curious.
Good question.
Because $1,500 doesn't get you far when it's an emergency anything.
Yeah.
I need to get back to him on that.
Okay.
Well,
The cemetery,
Mhm.
I think that some work needs to be done up there. Please.
Okay, you brought this to my attention. I went up there the other day, I took a drive.
Good, yeah.
Okay, you sent me those pictures, I went, the water is down.
Yeah.
Public Works is very aware of that side of the cemetery. They have been trying to find grants to help, and we just don't have the manpower with just 4 guys to go in there and lift stones and fill. And so it actually has been on the radar for the last 3 years.
so if you, that grant that I sent you the other day,
Yes?
that's the same grant you do that for. That's the same paper.
Oh, that one.
Yeah, I have a blank one at the office, I'll send it to you tomorrow.
I don't want to, like, I know you guys are gonna be really busy with other things too, but at some point in that cemetery, the stones and those big cement pads and
Slabs
stuff,
that are there on
the
there.
slabs, yeah, they sink.
Yeah.
And our ground is just perfect for doing those things. And I'd really like to see it just really.
So
In Dawson Cemetery, if your thing is settling, you pay to have them come in and lift it up.
So that's one option. Another option is, it's something that you guys put into a capital and special projects, and you earmark X number of dollars to have it done, and then we contract it out to somebody to come and fix it.
I'd really like us to think about doing something like that.
Is there a grant that we could hire a crew to come in
We'd have to
and
look
spend
into
a
it.
week
We'd have to look.
in the cemetery, level it all off, straighten the stones, bring up some of those low-lying areas, like it'll be a, but I somehow, NPIT, I'm just throwing that out there.
I will put it forward to the grant writer. Okay.
NDIP has?
Not per se cemetery, but there is maybe something there that we can,
I'll have the grant writer look into it.
Sand.
I just wanted you to know that I did take a drive out there the other day.
My husband did too. He said, what are you talking about?
It wasn't as bad. There was a few areas that were still underwater, but it weren't as bad as the pictures you sent me.
Oh, yeah, that was a late,
Yeah.
Sandy, did the tree get knocked down and dealt with down at Poos Park? The tree that was down?
There's a tree down at Booth Park.
There was, I don't know, I haven't been down there in the last few days.
I will check with Public Works. I didn't know anything about it.
Well, it was in Santa's report.
Okay, I will check.
So the recreation facility is on the hall, right? On the school? Is that 2,500 to replace the dishes?
That's just a standard budget.
And do we have to pay liability insurance on that?
We have a blanket liability for the entire village.
$5,000 in 2021, what did we do for recreation? That's just a budget?
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh, yes.
Didn't do anything in there in 2021.
Recreation includes,
so,
it's the skating rink.
okay, the museum and the library, I haven't seen their budgets yet submitted.
We go.
I have them.
Okay,
We don't
so,
usually put them forward to you guys, we just put the numbers in.
okay, but don't we discuss their budgets?
You want,
No.
Don't we
They put the
invite them
numbers
to
in.
come with their budget and discuss it with us?
They don't have
We
to.
did it once.
They don't have to. That's not the requirement. The requirement
I know,
is they
I know.
submit what the budget is and
So the other one too is, the other one, come back to is tourism, the $7,500 for tourism. What all do we pay for out of that? What do we do with that?
Most part
I
it's
have a note that
advertising.
2021 there was a museum advertising for 3,560.
Isn't that magazine or something?
Yes.
that-
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's the tourism magazine that goes out.
That one encompasses the whole Peace
Dawson
Region.
and Peace, yeah, it's the
Or the
whole-
Alaska Highway.
Well, there's actually two
Yeah.
that it would encompass. There's the Alaska Highway and then there's the Dawson Creek one. We have a full page ad for Poos. And with that, we also get, it's about this big for the museum as well, that we do with that.
Well, yeah, I've
That's
seen that-
mostly advertising costs.
I've
for-
seen that in Radio Hot Springs actually.
Yeah.
So we might have to put that up because he's doing the tourism movie for the 90s.
Well, no, that's Canada Day.
Yeah. But why wouldn't we put that
Well,
in tourism?
Because it's for Canada Day. You're gonna show stuff relating to Canada Day.
It's either one or the other.
Yeah, you can't put it in both places.
And that whole price isn't encompassing just for the tourism.
When the July 1st Foundation folded, we got some money for playground equipment at Hardin Park and
Hasn't been
for,
done yet, no, because
and
COVID.
how much money do we have? Well, we haven't spent any of the money that we
Yeah,
got
we
from the
did.
foundation.
Yeah, we did.
What did we do?
We bought benches. I think we have roughly about 120,000 of it left.
Benches for where?
There's a bench over here, there's some benches over in the park, there's benches in this park.
Okay, well, I'm
There's
asking.
benches sitting in storage, there's picnic tables, that was all ordered pre-COVID. It's sitting at Public Works.
Okay,
Finished?
Going back to the library budget, this number was also kind of pre-COVID, and I know that things have really slowed down at the library over the past like 2.5 years. And, you know, they've been getting around $107,000, $105,000 every year, even during COVID, when there really hasn't been much going on. And so,
You want to slash your budget?
well, I can imagine that they're sitting on a bit of a surplus. And with the lagoon that we have going on and other things that we're trying to do, I'd like to look at it, yes.
So you want to see the budget
The library's budget, yeah.
that emailed around?
I'd like us to discuss it, the library budget.
Okay, do you want it emailed around and then we have a discussion on it?
Does that work for you guys? I know email can be iffy.
It should be
does-
discussed in a meeting.
I like to look at things
Does the
first.
library budget include wages though of employees, so does that not need to be an in-camera meeting?
Well, not for the budget, no.
Not for the budget.
As long as you're not discussing names
Persons.
in it. Because there should be nothing in that budget that pertains, like it shouldn't specify somebody.
I'll have to look into that.
Bart,
I'd like to include the museum in that budget thing. If we're gonna look at the library, let's look at the museum too, because they, you know what I mean? I'm not saying that, I just wanna know how much money we spent and the,
Did you see it last year or the year before?
pardon me?
Oh, yeah, I did.
Yeah, I know, the only budget I'd like to look at is,
The library.
The library, 'cause I'm,
if they have a surplus, that's,
I'm pretty sure they're sitting on a hefty surplus, so.
if they're, yeah, if they're sitting on a hefty one, yeah, then we can revisit that. But I don't think the museum is, because less has been.
Well, theirs is quite small, really, like with the amount of things, when you compare what the museum does, teas, pancakes.
I just wanna be fair and
No, that's
transparent. If we're
110%.
gonna look at the library, let's look at the
Yeah.
museum also.
No, 110%, I totally get it.
Okay, I'm gonna take that as a motion, and I need a seconder.
I'll second that.
Who would you like?
I'm just, so,
So if you can just
So we
email
can
the
bring
budgets
this
to
back.
us?
and approve if they're okay with it at the next meeting, right?
Pardon?
Can we bring this back and approve at the next meeting if they're okay with it?
Yes.
We're not gonna have to call them away.
No,
But if they're not okay with it,
then there's gonna have to be
Don't change
changes. The idea is that the next meeting, we bring the budget back for adoption, so.
No, it's just going to all in favor.
all in favor?
Sorry, who seconded that?
Me.
So the only other thing I want to ask about on this one before we move on is just the volunteer biannual banquet at the bottom.
That is usually just always budgeted, but quite frankly, it's never been used since I've been here.
We tried to do it
Barb.
just before COVID.
We tried to recognize our volunteers, but they just never materialized. So that was a volunteer banquet or barbecue we were gonna have for our members of the library board, members of the museum.
Could we, I'm just again thinking about with Canada Day, with that presentation that's being, could we thank our volunteers throughout the community as part of that Canada Day celebration?
Yeah, we could.
Maybe he could film council saying thank you to all the volunteers.
Huh?
I said maybe he could film council
And the
thanking
CAO.
all the, no,
And
no,
the C-
no,
and
no,
from
no,
CAO.
no. CAO's not going to be in any videos, sorry. That's not in my contract.
You're right.
It's not in my contract.
That flies over, you won't even know.
If I'm not in town, it's not gonna fly over me, is it? You have to find me first.
Sandy
It's funny
vacation
because-
days.
It's funny because like a lot of the volunteers on Canada Day will be the same familiar faces they always are.
Yeah, that's a big crowd, so it'd be nice with a large crowd.
Who's gonna do the parade? So staff ain't gonna do the parade, right?
No, I thought they were doing the parade.
Yeah.
They're doing the parade.
Who's doing the parade?
Staff is doing the parade.
Have you guys asked the staff if they wanted to do the parade? I thought it was a policy.
It's actually, oh shoot, I didn't
They
bring
the
the
standards?
So it is what did I say? Expected that employees will work Canada Day. That's how it's worded.
The hiring thing, right? That's what you'd mentioned, when they're
Yes.
hired, they're.
But it's for Canada Day activities. But it says expected, but if somebody came to me and said, I want July 1st off, I'm not really gonna deny them that, right? So,
And if you come to council and say you want a July 1st off, we'd have to give you it on.
So would it be something that council kindly requests that staff is available for Canada Day?
Sugar on top?
well, believe it or not, there's actually members of staff that actually don't mind working July 1st.
Yeah.
It's a big bonus for them to work July 1st. They get lots of perks out of that.
Yeah, they get.
It's people like me
They don't,
and the Public Works Director that don't get anything out
And
of it,
days off.
because we're salaried,
Mhm.
right?
so if Sandy works, she gets a bonus?
No, because she's salaried.
I know, so she should get a bonus.
So that day, everybody brings Sandy a coffee.
I'm sorry, but later in the day, it has to be stronger than coffee.
Also, we bring her wine.
I hear the Legion's open again.
I can see it in the paper now. Who's Koopy gives their employees alcohol to get through the day.
Thanks for coming in, here's your 2 cents.
Department, dude.
Anyway,
make that a policy?
maybe not say that on camera.
Colleen's gonna be editing again.
Does anybody see anything on the recommendation that they would like to talk about?
Oh, are we done with this budget thing? We're done?
I thought we voted, we were all good.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
no, we
okay.
need the 8.6 travel.
Oh, yes, please, please,
Accommodations,
yes.
expenses.
That's kind of important.
I got
Are you
it.
organized now?
Here. You want me to?
Okay. Travel and accommodation expense approval 2022 will together affect the Fire Service Administration Chief and local government CAOs.
All you have to read is the recommendation.
Where is it?
On
The
the back.
council approves travel, registration, and accommodation expenses for the Working Together Effective Fire Service Administration Chief and Local Government CAOs Conference in Kamloops, May 13th, 15th, 2022.
Second?
All in favor?
Question?
No question?
That's in a training budget anyway, isn't it?
This is for the chief.
This is just,
This is for me
Approval.
to go. The
Yeah.
chief has his own budget.
I know, but
Yeah.
you have training in that.
I totally wish you were going before our fireside meeting. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah. that
You've been
would've
so
good.
handy.
I'm sorry, would you like to get a hold of the organizers and say, can you make this for, like, tomorrow?
I can't believe it's today.
We'll flag her down tomorrow.
It would be so
It's
handy.
in camera, by the way.
Cameras?
Oh,
So, do I get to go or do I have to
Yes.
stay?
I'm all, I second it, and all in favor? There you
You're
go.
gonna send me away with the fire chief.
Only if you bring us back something nice.
I told him he had to pick me up at the airport because he's driving and I'm flying. So I said, you better be at the airport when I get there.
So there was nothing that you guys want to see? Oh, this is, council received a letter from the Northland Society's information.
Which one is that?
What recommendation is it in?
9.4,
Honey,
page 60.
here, let me see.
Are we doing the Northlands thing?
Or, it's, they sent us a letter.
It's just the
The
letter.
letter that they sent us, you know, the document.
And you want to discuss that?
No,
Okay.
Sure.
9.2, that council received the report from Gooskoopi Volunteer Fire Department, its information. I just wanted to ask you, if we could find out what all of these little abbreviations are. FR, I'm assuming, is
Fire
first responders. A lift assist,
That's helping
I don't-
somebody in the medical.
Yeah, it's, they got called up by BC Ambulance and they're helping them lift a stretcher.
what's
and
in
then
that
there's MVI.
motor vehicle incident?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. FR investigations
Fire
versus
investigation.
bonders investigation.
Mm-mm. They were
What's the
investigating
FR?
a potential
What's
fire.
that for?
I think that's fire response.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Okay, I can ask for the.
15 hours and 38 minutes, my goodness.
Mhm.
Okay. Any questions? Oh, anything else? Okay. Jenny?
Looking at the North Winds letter, 6 D. Their presentation here, was really, really well done. I would like to see something done with the public. Have them present to the public and maybe hold a referendum. I know that it's,
You don't want a referendum?
no, I'm not on.
Well, they can pay for the
Community
referendum.
consultation, yeah.
They can pay for it.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of questions floating around from community members. They do know we are talking about it. It's been in the paper. They've spoken with the paper. Councillor Smith talked on it. And I'm getting a lot of questions sort of thrown at me. And I think that a community consultation or something for the community, a presentation would be beneficial.
To address the.
This will be addressed in the next hour or so.
Okay.
Okay? Please? Thank you.
Okay, now
we're looking at.
That's
Are the
there.
water rates things going on here? Right here, bylaws.
Well, are you done with info? Everything
No,
else is
no.
done?
Oh, here, the 9/16, the council received a letter of thanks for the Gordon Valley and, what's her name?
Cheney Wayjack.
Cheney.
Cheney Wayjack.
Cheney Wayjack.
Winjack.
Winjack, as for information.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool, though. Right?
9.5, the BC Hydro site. We're always getting these BC Hydro things. I thought we had discussed that. And I looked online, like a lot of this stuff is online.
And at one point in time, you guys had said no.
Yeah.
And then when I got back in September, you guys said you wanted it back on there again.
No,
Yeah,
I did.
not you. But somebody on
I'm losing my mind.
someone on council
I did.
asked for it to be put back on.
Because there's people in the community that work at DC Hydro.
But they can get all this online. Some of it's
Yeah,
50,
some
60
don't.
pages.
Some people don't have computers. Then how?
But how are they getting it from here? Because this is on our computer.
You have one sitting up there.
No,
I don't know.
we don't print copies. We would have to charge for it. 25 cents a page. So do you want to make
Take
a
it off.
motion?
Make it
I
off.
would like to make a motion to take the BC Hydro information out of the agendas.
Is that BC Hydro and Site C or just BC Hydro?
I don't know.
Because they're both.
And
there.
Site C, I get.
BC Hydro Site C.
Okay,
Yeah, we can just move it.
pardon me?
I was gonna say, can we just leave those in, so we still get them via email, but not paper copies of them?
You mean leave them in the agenda?
No.
Just email them as a
to us.
separate.
We have
Just
them on our
email.
email.
Well, because I don't know, I get a Site C email from Dave.
Because you are
I'm-
on,
I was on the, yeah.
yes,
So
but I also get them.
could
I
you
do
just
too.
forward that out?
You'll get it again. It's a group email.
Okay, yeah, perfect, great.
Okay.
Okay, so can I have a
Anything else?
seconder?
I'll
Can I
second.
have a seconder?
I'll
Can
second.
we vote on it?
All in favor?
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Anyhow.
I wanted to talk on recommendation 914. Council received the resolution from NCLJ of prolific offenders as information. This really touches on what our police and constable were talking about here this evening, where they mentioned they had one offender perform 57 BDs in 1 year. That's what this here is talking about, is that these people are continuously.
And then you will be voting on that. And that's a resolution.
That will be at
That's a
the,
resolution that you would be voting on at the NCLT.
Yeah. When are we going to it?
May. Remember we had.
Oh, it's a part of the May thing. Oh, wow, okay, sorry, this is speak out properly, be nice
am
to
I
me.
gonna have to phone you and say, are you on your way?
Oh my gosh, call me.
Hey Danielle, I'll give you a ride up there so you don't get lost.
I get motion sickness, so I'll throw up all over you. Just let me know. Thank
Okay,
you.
we all need to know that.
10 resolutions, 11 bylaws, 11.1 recommendation.
That council received the draft bylaw 1033 2022 and 1036 2022 for information and discussion.
Can I get a seconder?
Second.
Discussion. Trina? Tell us, Miss Trina, how much is it going to go up?
So please refer to page 109.
I am, I'm getting there, I saw it.
No, we only talking percents. Isn't that the rule?
What was that?
We only talking percents.
And that's where I'm going to just kind of like, you know, sit back here and, so this is,
Do you guys have a copy?
No.
Do we have a copy?
there's one copy right here.
Page,
I-
109.
Question, if our water rates, metered water rates consumption is going up, then do we have to increase the sewer? Are they tied together? Or is it one that we can increase one and not the other?
Thought there was some
Please
discussion.
consult,
Discuss.
Page,
please consult page 118.
Okay, thank you.
So they work hand in hand together.
That's I said no.
So you have your water utility rate Schedule A, and then Schedule A for the sewer utility rates, and this is how we've written it up.
so if one goes up, the other goes up, because it's 30% fee.
Exactly. And we've done this so that going forward, we won't always have to rewrite everything.
And it's approximately a 75% increase.
75%. We did say that the water rates were going up. Are we going to put any notice about this?
As soon as council approves it.
So
Once they're approved.
449.
But people will see this in the agenda, they can see it now, it's out there in the public. We did put an announcement out just stating that the utility rates were rising or going up and that we were switching to bi-weekly. And that's basically all we could say at that time because this had not come to council yet.
Bi-monthly.
By month.
Bi-month.
So it's
Monthly,
$4.40 a cubic meter?
That's the overconsumption
Mm-hmm.
rate.
You need the regular,
The flat monthly, yeah, the flat bi-monthly fee will be $106.75.
bi-monthly fee.
Yes.
Okay.
Minimum.
That's a minimum.
Yes.
But if you've got a family of 4 or 5,
Then you pay the overage.
$4.40.
Yes.
I'm just concerned we won't see any houses being washed or driveways being washed or, you know. Oh, I know. Thanks, Dawson Creek.
That's how I nobody washes their houses in Dawson Creek.
No, I'm thanking them for,
No, I'm making a statement, is that why nobody hoses down their houses in Dawson Creek? It just dawned on me, because it costs money.
so I'll make a motion to move bylaw.
You're just receiving it for info.
Okay, we're receiving it for info?
We will bring it back for first, second, third reading at the next,
Council meeting?
yeah.
Okay.
So no question?
So we are on to administration report, CAO report. Yeah, you never knew.
CAO report? What are you talking about?
It says report will be presented at the meeting.
Okay, I'm gonna read this and no one's gonna interrupt me, right?
Right.
Can you put something over? Okay, I'm just gonna read off, I don't have a lot because I was away for 10 days, but this is what I've done since I've been back. The TV for the council chambers has been ordered. It should be here mid to late April.
And how much is that?
It cost us $840 plus tax and $120 for them to come and install it, which was cheaper than the people we actually got the camera system from. So we got a good deal. Correct me if I'm wrong, but this is what you said, donations can be made for Canada Day to the office as long as it's stated on there that it's for Canada. Okay, so you had asked about donations being made for Canada Day, cash or whatever. As if it's a cash donation or a check, they just have to state that it is for Canada Day. and they can make the donation here in the office, and there's
But
a
if it's a
place.
check, it has to be made out to the village of Coosa.
Yes,
Okay.
but it has to say for
On the
Canada
memo
Day.
line, yeah.
Okay. I did speak to the bylaw officer regarding the repeat offenders that you questioned in the reports. He assures me that anybody who is a repeat offender has been ticketed. Those were all one-ofs. Everybody gets one free return. And then after that, he starts to ticket.
Good, thank you.
I was asked about liability insurance down at the park for Canada Day. You're covered. Okay, as long as it's the park, us putting it on, which it is. I worked on agendas and minutes. I spent numerous hours on phone calls with Lagoon, for the Lagoon, legal, grants, budget. Okay, I had a question about purchasing items to decorate floats. Did you want to go through your float thing in your conversation, by the way? Because I do have it printed. But you can do it in your thing.
Sure.
I spoke to finance about that, about going to the dollar store, picking up stuff. And I was told that the preferred method is to have us do it because of the audit. If you do it, we can't guarantee that you're actually using that for that.
It's not transparent.
Yes.
Well, it's transparent because you'll have the receipt. And they'll see those colors
But we
on
don't,
us.
we don't know that the goods were received. In the past, we've had questions on whether or not purchases have gone into people's homes or to the intended purpose.
Yeah, I know.
So we would prefer that you give us a list and we will go.
I just need green
You just,
and yellow,
you
light
need
yellow.
green and yellow what?
I just need,
You'll send me an email. Oh, where are you gonna, okay, send us an email, please.
because I have white and black.
Okay. Picture searching has been assigned to an admin staff, but it will take some time to
What
find
is
it. It's been assigned
No, I didn't
to
hear what you before.
the pictures that you
Oh, okay.
asked for. I
Okay.
have assigned it to a staff member, but a staff member is gonna be taking some holidays, so she will do it when she returns. Okay, so,
Les said he has some over at the library too, or at the museum too.
okay. We held a staff meeting. The 1930 fire truck can't be used for towing the float because there is no hitch. And it's not us that owns it, it's the association that actually owns it. Stray cats, they're gonna start trapping again soon. There's starting to be a problem, so the bylaw officer will be putting traps out again. And we will start advertising for summer students in the next couple of weeks.
Have we put our bid in, or, to get the summer student?
Our grant?
Yeah.
Yes. We're still waiting to hear, but yes, we have
How many summer students do you looking for this year?
4. That's the end of my report.
So, Marlene?
The mugs, did you find out that?
We haven't done any more on that stuff yet until we knew,
what
until we know
were-
if you guys were going forward. We just,
Okay. I just wanted to comment on the association. I was talking to my brother, and he needs to be involved with the fire department. And the association, I was talking about the 49 fire truck, and he said, there must be some kind of confusion or something, because the association, the fire department created the association for putting money aside. So that association is actually
they're
the
separate.
fire department?
No, they're separate from the fire.
They're
department.
separate?
Yeah,
Oh,
they're
okay.
separate.
Okay.
They were monopolies on it.
They do their own fundraising, they
Yeah,
do,
they're their own separate society, are they not?
yeah, I think so.
Yeah, okay.
And that's it.
Okay, action items, still the same. Where's my big sheet?
Sorry. There's not really anything to see right now.
No, all the same.
It's all this, well,
It's all
yeah.
black.
And no, I haven't been able to get a hold of Shaw or Telus yet.
Who?
Shaw or Telus,
Um,
before you ask.
Did I send you that email? That the, federal government just released a bunch of money. And I think they talked about connectivity at the regional district board.
Yes, we have a meeting coming up this Wednesday.
I thought they talked about it on Thursday. There was a guy there talking about connectivity.
Yeah, there was, but there was no decision made at the connectivity regional district vote through the, yeah.
So, I'll send you that email, because federal government released a whole bunch of money for rural areas for connectivity.
Okay.
Money?
Oh, Marcella.
Marissa?
I think number 9.
Crack ceiling?
No, on the action items, the Kenka movie. I got down here, we tried to schedule it for April 20th. Could we just stroke that and put that it's being played at Canada?
It's up to you guys.
You beat me to it.
Yeah, I thought you were
So
going
I
there too.
can, I can say complete on Canada Day.
Actually, we paid for it, I'd like to see it.
No, I'd like to see it first.
But it has to be complete before Canada Day.
Then why would he give us the date, April 20th?
He didn't give us the date. I put that date there because I was hoping that our agenda would be less filled, because that's what you asked for, was to see the movie when there wasn't so much on the agenda.
At this rate, we're never gonna see the movie, we should just see the Groundhog Day.
So I will try to arrange to have it.
Can we use the popcorn maker down there? Me and Danny are gonna make popcorn down there.
I don't see why not. You got power? As
Yeah,
Yeah.
generator.
long as you order the popcorn and everything
Oh, I
else, you
already
need
got
power.
that, I already got that.
Wait, are you talking about when we view the
They
movie,
can
we're
use
having
it.
popcorn, or for Canada Day?
Canada Day.
Oh.
We can
Why
make
not both?
popcorn here too.
I'll only go with the popcorn involved.
Barb?
Number 8, health and safety manual.
Yes?
I'd like to know when that is gonna be looked at, because according to that manual, when you read through, that our office staff have to be steel-toe boots, hard hat, have to be able to
Ball
harness.
training,
What?
ball training.
Yeah, like, I would like it looked at, and, yeah, when,
Do I hire somebody to do that?
For safety?
yeah.
No.
The staff doesn't know about the safety. You guys aren't trained in safety.
It's, okay, question, sidebar. Is there like, okay, office staff section, public works section?
No.
No, I didn't think so.
It's based off an oil field.
I know,
Exactly.
yes.
And that's why we would like to.
So right now, we are in compliance with WorkSafe. We are doing everything we have to do. That's why the manual has not been pushed to the forefront. We have a safety committee made up of 3 people, like they've asked. We've done everything. Right now, we're still in compliance.
I understand that, but that manual is sort of redundant because we're not oil and gas.
I realize that, but it's also 293 pages, and who's gonna go through it? I don't have
Could we
time.
get some quotes from somebody that could do it for us? Now, I'm not,
It can't be the same person that wrote it.
no.
So if we do that, could you reach out to Urban Systems and have somebody that specializes in doing safety plans for municipalities? Because our requirements are different than oil and gas, right? And from what I read, because I read 45 pages into that report, or into that safety manual, and it's geared more towards industry. I think there's some misunderstanding on it, but
I
it's
think
geared
it
more
would-
towards industry, so I think it would be worthwhile to have it audited, even if it's just audited or reassessed by somebody that specializes in OH&S for municipalities.
When I first got back in September, I went through that, and I made 13 pages of notes of what didn't apply to us. But it got pushed to the side.
But yeah,
So when I took over, I made sure that we were in compliance. These guys have all done their training that they were required to do, that doesn't apply to us. I mean,
I did.
yeah, it was a waste of time. I'm sorry, but I phoned around. I talked to Dawson about their
Oh, good.
safety
Yes.
plan. Theirs is 13 pages.
I know. How
I
come-
talked to Tumbler Ridge. Theirs is only 20 pages. So, I mean, why is ours almost 300 pages for non-industry? We don't work in oil and
Well,
gas.
that's what I'm saying, get somebody that specializes in it for municipalities to.
But I thought that was the whole point of having this written.
Yeah, but the person that wrote it, I don't know who wrote it, but was it one that was written for a municipality, right? Or was it copied and pasted from another industry?
Yes, because they forgot to copy and paste some names out.
So,
Quick question, couldn't we just take like Tumbler Ridges and make it work for us? Could we, like, you know, do that?
Which would be pretty much what we had previously.
And that didn't count?
I guess not.
Well,
I wasn't here, Jen, then.
Exactly.
Cause that's
Could
one-
we get more information on why that this health and safety manual was implemented in the first place and how we can bring it around to our needs, not oil and gas needs?
Well, how come Tumbler Ridge's 13-page one works for them, but
I will
ours?
get copies of,
Okay.
I will start looking into it.
Are you gonna be working till midnight, 7 days a week now?
Probably.
There's just gonna work.
She can take it with her to Kamloops.
give her something to read on the airplane.
Till July.
Pardon me?
I can drink while I'm doing this, so I'm all good. You guys don't need to know what I'm doing while I do this at home. At home, I said.
We'll count the mistakes.
Don't forget
You
to
go ahead.
change some of the names and copy and paste them while you're at it.
Okay,
Okay.
I will start looking into this. Thank you. Please don't expect anything by April 20th.
No, after budget.
Okay. Oh, thank you, after budget. Are we on to capital and
Mayor.
special projects now, or are we still on
Yeah.
action?
Oh, what?
Quick question. We're all off our boss
Salad
register.
here, get moving.
I know, we've been waiting on like okay, wait, no, we are on to this one. We've been waiting on the.
Are you on capital and special
I don't even
projects
know.
now?
Yes.
We've been waiting on the Peace River Regional District to get back to us on like a bunch of different things and they're not. What's
Okay.
happening?
Staff changes. Plain and simple, staff changes. So while I was gone, in regards to the truck, apparently they called looking for the letter that was sent 2 months ago, 3 months ago, whenever I sent it. So they've had staff turnover in the department that is going to be discussing this, so they called us for the letter, so it's supposed to be coming up shortly.
Okay.
Okay? Thank you. The short answer is staff changes.
Okay, anything else? Nothing? Okay, let's move on to. Counselors' calendars.
So are all of us going to that conference in May?
Everyone except for Counselor Keeper.
Everyone except for Councilor Peter.
She goes to bed at 8.
She can go to bed 8 there.
I have a lot on my plate.
I understand. I understand.
The other thing is, community preparedness, or provincial preparedness week is coming up the first week in May, I believe,
Yes,
as well.
okay.
So
Provincial.
it'd be a good time to remind people to, check the property and make sure they have supplies they need if they're gonna be 24 to 48 hours out without power.
I actually forgot to ask you guys something in my report.
What?
Skipped. Does council want to do the spring cleanup this year? And do we want to offer it to the non-profit groups again?
Yes.
Yes.
I don't know if you remember, I don't think it was last year, I think it was the year before, we offered $200 to each group that would take a
And the
section and.
school.
And
Yeah.
that was in the school.
Yeah, and they took us up on it, they were the only ones that did, but,
Yeah.
the council wants to do that again this year? Okay, sorry, I missed that one, and I,
This village up is very nice.
can I just have a motion,
I'll have a motion, I'll do the motion.
seconder?
Marlene,
Second.
put her
Okay,
in.
that's all I need.
Okay.
Oh, all in favor?
All in favor?
Thank you.
Councilor Peters, report.
The museum. The museum had a meeting last Thursday. I didn't get to go to it because I wasn't feeling that awesome, but I did go over and meet them on Tuesday. And they are going to be having their grand opening on May 7th, I believe it is. Yeah, May 7th. And they're going to be having a swap meet. They're going to be renting tables. And what they are requesting, if Public Works could possibly give them some barricades so that they could block off just that side of the street that the museum is on so they can set up their tables.
Well, it's the same thing we did a couple of years ago.
They had garage sales, but it ended up that they were they ended up making quite a few dumps up to Bensborough. It was a lot of effort. So they're going, Car Club's going to be there. There's Show and Shine, and they're going to have a pancake breakfast too over at the seniors.
Right.
Yeah, sounds like it's going to be great.
Do you want this handed out? It's up to you.
Not really.
We did photocopy it and Trina did price it out for you.
Oh, did she? Do you want to have it? Okay.
Trina
Don't
can,
share them. It's supposed to be a surprise, people.
okay, so keep it to yourself. You've got yours, right?
The seniors, they're starting their suppers again?
Yes, they are. The seniors are going to be
got
having their
yours?
supper on Friday, April 15th.
Oh, sorry, I'm not allowed to show you.
Don't look.
If we show you, we'll have to kill
Where's
you.
the price tag?
Trina's gonna give you the pricing. It's not on here.
I had to do some rearranging of my float because the trailer looks different than what I had planned, but it's all right. So I planned out every piece of this and how it's going to go together, and I'll probably be working on it until July 1st, among else.
So you'll say how much it's gonna cost around?
She can tell you.
Approximately 2,000.
Yeah? Thank you very much. And will you be ordering the stuff?
Yeah, I'll go through it with you and make sure I didn't miss anything, and then we can order anything that needs to come over the internet, and then we'll,
Do you have a time? That you'd like?
it should be soon.
Sooner rather
Yes,
than
I
later.
want ASAP, so.
But you gotta work between her budget stuff. so.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, Councilor Stan.
I have nothing to report, but I would like to make a motion that question period be put back on the agenda.
That is a bylaw
Okay,
rewrite.
okay, I'm making a
That's
motion.
when your council procedures bylaw.
Okay. However it is, we should reinstate it.
All in favor?
Can we have a discussion on this first?
Okay,
So-
first of all, okay, it's a motion, I need a seconder.
I'll second that.
So what exactly is it that you're wanting added back on? Just
On our agenda, our plan, our agenda, it has sort of a template,
Yep.
and question period at the end was removed off of it. And it's anyone that's attending the council meeting, they have an opportunity to ask questions on anything that we've discussed at the meeting.
But
Only
if
on
they
what's
put their hand
discussed in
up,
the meeting.
if they put their hand up, Marcel, if they put their hand up and they wanna ask a question, I do let them.
But technically, it should be in your council procedure bylaw.
Thank you.
What's the impact to staff with adding that in there? Because you said it's a bylaw rewrite, so then it's gotta go for multiple readings and
Yep.
create a lot more work for
Full
you.
right now.
It's a matter of adding one sentence to it. It just means it has to go through first, second, and third reading, and then fourth and adoption.
It was already a thing before. It's just that it was getting abusive during a point in time, which goes against what it should have been. It's supposed to be,
And there should be a time limit on it,
yes.
just like delegations. So, all in favor? Do you want it noted that you're opposed?
Now, with that, is that, if it starts getting out of hand, right, so you get somebody that comes in, they start being rude and disruptive, then does it fall on the chair then to close down that question period and suspend the rest of it?
I believe so, but I will look into it.
Because we don't want
Yeah, it's not
to, we don't want
meant
to,
to be.
yeah, it doesn't need to be a poofing contest or.
Well,
Well, it can only be, they can only question what's on the agenda. You cannot bring up new business.
Okay, well then, I'm for it.
There is no new business bit. You are only allowed to address
What is on it?
on the agenda. That goes for anybody. Doesn't matter if it's public or council. It's only what's on the agenda that's addressed.
Mhm.
So if somebody stands up and starts to asks a question about something that's not on the agenda, that's where I'm supposed to step in and say, point of order, that's not on the agenda, we cannot address that at this time. Okay. So you're okay with that one?
Okay, Counselor Beach.
Yes, I haven't really done much actually, because I was on vacation, that's why. But,
She's still there.
I was like, why haven't I done much? The library had.
Point of order, I would like to make the motion that we extend council meeting beyond 9 o'clock.
Is it already 9 o'clock?
Oh, yeah.
Can I get a second?
Sorry.
I'll second that.
Marlene Beach.
All in favor?
I didn't hear.
The library board had their budget meeting. I did attend that. I need to find out how that works with me on the library board, because I don't think I'm on the library
We're
board.
out of the so.
You are on the library board.
I am on the board.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, so, yeah, I attended their budget meeting, and then, I did contact the church about all this spray painting, just to talk to, the.
I just want to stop you there. How do you say she's on the library board?
She was appointed on the library board and I sat on the library board. So that she's the liaison, she attends the meetings.
No. We just went to court and I got my portfolios back. So it is reversed back to the original. And you
I will
understand,
present-
you may sit on the library board because if you need.
I contacted the church about spray painting and, just to kind of offer my kind of cleaning up or, anything. I think it takes everybody to help the community. So, yeah, those were the two things that I did. There's a library board meeting coming up on the 21st of April. I'll be doing that.
Anything else?
I'm gone for a whole week.
Councillor Woodall.
I have nothing to report this week.
And I had a meeting with Blair last night, talked to the guys at the fire hall. We have, 4 new guys? And that's it, that's all I have. So, in camera, as for section 91K, the 1G, K, M of the community charter, litigation or potential litigation affecting the municipality, paying negotiations and related discussion respecting the proposed provisions of the municipality service that are at their preliminary stages and that in the view of the council could reasonably be expected to harm the interests of the municipality if they were held in public. M, a matter that under another enactment is such that the public body be excluded from the meeting.
Second?
So,